So good morning everyone. I welcome you all in the lecture series of hydrology. Today we'll start with a new chapter that is your hydrograph. This is one of the important chapter in your hydrology and most of the numerical in your third question is related to your hydrograph only. Okay, so first we'll start with the definition of that. So hydrograph is basically a graphical representation. Okay, it is the plot between runoff with time. So over here you can see that on the y-axis there is a discharge. Discharge is nothing but your runoff, and on the x-axis it has been shown with time, that is t. Okay, so if you plot these two data you will get a graph over here, and this graph is nothing but your hydrograph. Okay, so this is the graphical, this is the first the main definition of your hydrograph. Basically it is a graphical representation of runoff with time. Now runoff can be included in many forms, like the water which is flowing on the surface, that is included in your surface runoff. One which is flowing in the streams, they are called as interflow. One is base flow. Some water gets infiltrates into the ground and it ultimately joins the stream later. That is called as your base flow. So all these parts are included in your runoff. That is your surface runoff, interflow, and base flow. All are included in what runoff. After that, hydrograph. Hydrograph is a response of catchment with respect to the percolation, precipitation as input. So hydrograph basically, or you can also say that it is a response of catchment, because ultimately the water has been catched by the catchment. It has been collected in the catchment, and the precipitation is an input in that. Precipitation is in the form of rainfall. So basically, it is a representation of catchment with precipitation as input. Okay. Uh, Now hydrograph is the combined effect of rainfall and catchment. So you can also say that hydrograph shows the combined effect of your rainfall as well as your catchment. Okay. In this, I've shown you a diagram over here. In this there is an area in which what is happening, the rainfall is happening, and it has been through the catchment, it is ultimately reaching a stream. Okay, over here a gauge has been provided where the discharge has been measured. Okay, so based on this gauge, by the amount of water which has been reaching on this gauge, a graph has been plotted. So graph will represent like this only, because you can see that this area is this area is having maximum area in this side, it is having less area in this side, so maximum water will be collected on this side. Okay, so initially the runoff will be less. Okay, so initially the runoff will be less, but ultimately it will get more and more collect more and more water, and ultimately it rises to a peak point and it ultimately fall down. Okay, so this type of diagram you can achieve by your catchment area, and if you put a gauge in your stream. Okay, and now in this diagram you can see over here that on the y-axis we are representing your discharge, and on the x-axis we are representing time. So initially what will happen, the runoff will be less. So because the as the rainfall happens, some water has been absorbed by the soil. So initially the runoff value will be very less at this gauging point. So the graph will be down, and ultimately after the evaporation and transpiration requirement is in over, then the runoff will start. So it will get more and more value, but ultimately it will rise at this point. So this portion, which is your AB portion from A to B, is called as your rising limb. Okay, and it is also called as the concentration limb. Okay, after that this BC limb, after more and more water will reach, it will reach to a peak value. Okay, that is the maximum discharge. So point P represent your peak value, and this BC point or the BC line represent the crest segment. Okay, and then after the runoff is over or the rainfall is over, so it will get, the discharge will be what, less. So ultimately it will fall down from C to D. So it is in the form of CD line is called as the falling limb or the recession limb. Okay, and this point BC is called as the point of inflection, because it is the point from where your curve is changing. Okay, from high to low. Okay, after that point P represent your peak flow. So this is basically a short diagram of your hydrograph. This is how you represent. The first portion has been represented by AB line is represented by your rising limb. BC point is your BC line is your crest segment. Okay, CD is your falling segment. Okay, so this is how you will represent your hydrograph. Now the area of hydrograph provides runoff volume of water. Uh, so basically, if you have got the area of hydrograph, it will provides the runoff volume of water. So if in certain calculation, if you have got a runoff volume of water or you have got the area of hydrograph, you can get the runoff volume of water from that. Okay, we will discuss all these points, that is your rising limb, crest segment, falling segment, one by one. Okay. So first one is your rising limb and concentration limb. The limb indicates the rise of flow due to the precipitation. As I've told you, the rising limb happen because the precipitation value is more in that case. So what will happen at this gauge point, more water will be received from this area, so ultimately it will start rising. So that line is represented by your rising limb. Okay, so it basically indicating the rise of flow. Okay, as the water will, as the rainfall will happen more, it will there will be a rise in the flow due to precipitation. Okay, it represent the decrease in the rate of infiltration and initial losses, and flow rate increases. As I've told you, initially when the precipitation happens, some water has been absorbed by the soil, some water gets evaporated, and after meeting all those requirements, it will start what creating runoff. So it will indicate what it is indicating, that there is a decrease in infiltration, there is decrease in initial losses, and there is decrease in flow rate. Okay, sorry, there is an increase in flow rate. Okay, after that, the limb lies between time of starting of rainfall to the end of the rainfall. Okay, and this is very important point. AB represent a line from where your rainfall has been started, or your M point represent the rainfall where it has been started, and B point represent when your rainfall is ended. Most of you must be thinking that the rainfall is will be ending at point P, but that is not the case. The rainfall will end at B because the maximum rainfall will happen end at B, because in this, how it is represented, because once the rainfall will end, all the water will come at there will be a time where all the water will be reaching this gauge after the rainfall is over. So the peak point will receive after what? The peak point will receive only when your rainfall is over. Okay, so generally AB point represent AB line. This is your rising limb line represent the rainfall duration only. Okay, it will happen during the rainfall duration only. The rising limb lies between the time of starting of rainfall to the end of rainfall. Now there are various factors by which your rising limb will depend. That is the storm characteristic, that which quality, which type of rain, which type of precipitation is happening, whether it is in the form of rainfall, whether it is in the form of hail, whether it is in the form of snow. So that is one of the important factor that will have in characteristics on the rising limb. Okay, after that, drainage. How is the drainage quality of your area? That will also affect your diagram or the shape of the rising limb, as well as if there is a vegetation available in the area, that will also affect the shape of the rising limb. So these are the three factors which will affect the shape of your rising limb. Okay, based on these three factors, your rising limb shape will depend. Okay, after that, there is a crest segment. So it lies between the inflection point, as I've told you. Point C and point D are also called as the point of inflection. Okay, so it lies between the inflection point. The time difference between the storm and the peak flow, the storm characteristic, catchment and vegetation. So it is basically the time difference between, it is basically the time difference between the center of the storm and the peak flow. You can also say that it is a center of storm and the peak flow. After that, it is also affected by what? Storm characteristics, catchment, as well as vegetation. So it will also, its shape will also depend upon these three characteristics. Okay, after that, falling limb. Initial point of the recession limb is considered as the point of maximum storage. So we are considering that the maximum storage of water is happening in this point. Okay, after that, the shape of the limb depends upon what? It depends upon the catchment and vegetation. It does not depend upon what? It does not depend upon the storm characteristic, because falling limb occurs after the rainfall or the precipitation has happened. Okay, so it will not depend upon the type of storm, it will directly depend upon the catchment and the vegetation. In this, the storm characteristics is not taken into consideration. Okay, the time interval between the peak flow and the end of the point is called as of the recession limb, can be also calculated by what? N equals to what? 0.83 a to the power 0.2, where a is the catchment area in kilometers and n is the time in days. Okay, so the time interval this is the characteristics. This is how you can calculate the time interval between peak flow and the end of the point of recession. Okay. Now factors affecting hydrograph. What are the various factors which can affect the hydrograph? First one is the shape of the catchment. First one is the shape of the catchment, and this you can see over here. Suppose this is the kind of area. What will happen? The major area is on the left hand side and the gauging point is over here. Okay, so what will happen? Water will receive from here and it will require some time, so it will be in the form of this shape. Okay. In the second case, as you can see over here, the maximum area is on the right hand side near the gauge, so peak flow will achieve earlier. In this, the peak flow is achieving later, but in this case the peak flow will achieve earlier because the shape of the catchment is like that. If it is near, maximum area is near the catchment area or near the gauging point, the peak flow will achieve earlier. But if the maximum area is away from the gauging point, then the peak flow will occur in, after some time. Okay. After that, if the shape of the catchment is in this shape, what will happen? It will achieve the peak flow in two intervals, that is one because of this area and one because of this area. Okay, first will achieve because of this area, first peak point, and the second peak point will achieve after the whatever the water has been collected in this area will reaching the gauging point. Okay, so these are the shape of catchment you can get on your field. So based on that, your hydrograph change your shape. So it is one of the important factors which will affect the shape of your hydrograph. Okay. After that, the size of the catchment area. Size of the catchment area plays a very important role. If the size is more, okay, so it will ultimately affect the shape of the catchment area. Okay. So this is basically the formula behind your catchment area. This is your discharge is basically directly proportional to what area. In this, it is saying that the discharge will depend upon the area. The more the area, more will be the discharge. The lesser the area, the lesser will be the discharge. Okay, where A is the catchment area, N is the empirical constant, and its value is generally taken as less than unity, that is 0.5. Okay. After that, drainage density. So the drainage density is what if the area or the catchment area in which you are considering the runoff, it is having what porous soil. So what will happen? It will absorb more water, so it will create less runoff. And in case of what if the soil is of what non-porous, so it will create more and more runoff. So that will ultimately affect the hydrograph shape. Okay, so this is the drainage density. After that, the slope of the catchment area. If the catchment area, if you are considering, in that what will happen if the slope is more, so water will not retain on the soil and ultimately flow and join the stream. So this will create what more runoff. In case of what when the slope is not very steep, it will what happen, there is a sloping there is a flat ground, so water will retain on the soil more and it will be absorbed by the soil more, so it will create less runoff. So ultimately, if the slope is more will be the runoff. If the slope is less, the less will be the runoff. Okay. And if the land use and the land cover, if the catchment area which you are considering is having what vegetation, so what will happen, that vegetation will ultimately take some of the rainfall, take some of the water from the rainfall. Okay. And transpiration will happen in that. So in that case, what will happen, the runoff created will be less. After that, storm characteristics. If the intensity of rainfall is more, it will create more runoff, and if the intensity of rainfall is less, it will create less runoff. Duration of rainfall, more the duration of rainfall, more will be the runoff. Okay. Lesser is the duration of rainfall, lesser will be the runoff. Okay. Now rainfall distribution, this is also very important. Sometimes you must have seen that the rainfall distribution is not uniform throughout the area. It may be happen that in certain area there is more rainfall, in certain area there is less rainfall. So if the rainfall distribution is not proper, it will also somewhat affect the hydrograph. Okay. So these are some of the characteristics which will affect the hydrograph. First one is your shape, second is the size, next is your drainage density, slope catchment, land use, okay, storm characteristics, rainfall distribution. Okay. After that, base flow separation. Most of the time this will be used because in numerical we don't need to consider the base flow. Something it is directly given the question that you don't need to consider the base flow, or you have to minus your base flow. So you need to understand what is the base flow. As I have told you, runoff is generally created on the surface. Okay, it can be directly into the stream, and also some water is from the soil also meets the your stream. So that water which is from the soil which is reaching the stream is called as your base flow. Okay. So in a given hydrograph, minus what generally, what do you do if we in a given hydrograph, if you minus the base flow, it will give you the direct runoff of hydrograph. So if you have been provided with an hydrograph values, and if you minus the base flow value from that, that will give you the direct runoff hydrograph. Okay. So direct runoff hydrograph is generally calculated surface runoff of a given rainfall. So runoff depth is generally given by, this is very important, runoff depth. If you want to calculate the runoff depth, so rainfall excess divided by the effective rainfall, that will give you the runoff depth. After that, this is all related to the theoretical part of your hydrograph. Next we will see the numericals related to your hydrographs. So we'll start with the first numerical of hydrograph. So this is the first question of your hydrograph. It is saying that given below are the observed value flow from 6-hour duration of a storm with a catchment area of 500 kilometers square. So it is saying that the rainfall is happening for an interval of 6 hours. Okay, and the catchment area is 500 kilometers square. Assuming the base flow to be zero, it is saying that the base flow, there was no base flow during the rainfall. So we are assuming that it is a zero. Derive the ordinates of 6-hour unit hydrograph. So we need to derive the ordinates. We need to find out the various ordinates of a 6-hour unit hydrograph. So these three things will be given on that. You will be provided with the time. You will be provided with the observed flow. Okay. So these two value will be provided. Okay. So the time interval as it is given in the question, the interval is 6 hours. So first it will be 0, 6, 12, 18, 24 in the world in the interval of 6 hours. Okay, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66 and 72. And the next observed flow which has been given, this is given in the question. That is for 0 time it will be 0, for 6 it is 100 meter cube per second, for 12 it is 250, for 18 it is 200, for 24 it is 150, for 30 it is 100, for 36 it is 70, for 42 it is 50, for 48 it is 35, and 54 that is 25, 60, 15 and 66 5, and ultimately 72 it is 0. Okay, so as it is given in the question, we need to consider the base flow as 0. So we are taking all the values of base flow as 0. Okay, so the next column you need to write over there is the base flow. So we'll write all the values as 0 meter cube per second. Now we'll calculate the total flow. The total flow is the addition of these two values. So the addition of these two values will be ultimately this values only. So we'll write all these values and ultimately join this, or you will do the summation of all this. So the final summation of this value is 100 meter cube per second. So the final discharge which we are getting throughout the rainfall is what, 100 meter cube per second. Now if you want to calculate what the total runoff, as I have told you, in order to calculate the ordinates, what you have to do, you have to divide the total runoff divided by what, the depth of the rainfall. So the depth, for the depth you need to calculate what, for the depth of rainfall you need to use this formula, 0.36 delta into T into summation of Q by area. So 0.36 into what, the interval was 6 hours. Okay, the total discharge is 1000 and the total area is 500 kilometers square. The area need to be taken in kilometers square. Okay, so the depth is coming out to be 4.32. So the total depth of rainfall is 4.32 centimeter from this formula. 0.36 delta T into summation of Q by area. 0.36 delta T is the interval and summation of Q is the total sum of your rainfall, and A is your area in kilometer square. Okay, so final value of depth of rainfall is coming out to be 4.32 centimeter. Okay, so in order to calculate the ordinate, we need to divide the total flow by the depth. So in the first case, 0 is the total value, so 0 divided by 4.32 will give you 0 only. In the second case, 100 divided by 4.32, it will give you 23.14. Then 250 divided by 4.32, this is giving 57.87. 200 divided by 4.32, this will give you 46.29. 150 divided by 4.32, this will give you 34.72, and so on. You need to divide all this discharge value divided by what, 4.32, that is the depth of your rainfall. So it will give you the ordinates of that particular time. Okay, so in this way you can calculate what ordinates of various points. Okay, after that we'll start with the next question, that is uh, the ordinates of a 2-hour unit hydrograph. So a unit hydrograph, 2-hour unit hydrograph has been given for a catchment area R is below. So we have been provided with this data. Time is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and the discharge is 0, 18, 81, 189, 168, 141, 96, 54, 21, and 0. For effective storm of the following intensity, so it is saying that there is an effective storm of intensity of time interval of 0 from 0 to 2, from 2 to 4, from 4 to 6. The intensity was in mm per hour, that is 40, 20 centimeter, that is, this is 40 centimeter, this is 10 centimeter. Okay, determine the ordinates of the resulting hydrograph if the base flow is considered to be as 20 meter cube per second. In the previous question there was no base flow, but in this question it has been provided with the value of base flow, which is coming out to be 20 meter cube per second. Okay, so now we need to consider this value in your total discharge. Okay, first we will try to calculate the depth of excess rainfall, because there is some intensity of rainfall which is happening. Okay, so firstly we will calculate what the effective storm. So effective storm for the first 2 hour was what, for 2 hour it is happening, and the intensity of rainfall is what, 20 centimeter. If we take it in what, sorry, this is in 20 mm. This is because it is in mm per hour, so we need to convert it into centimeter. It will be what, 2 centimeter, it will be 4 centimeter, it will be 1 centimeter. So 2 into 2, that will give you 4 centimeter. This is the depth of rainfall for the first 2 hour. For the second 2 hour it is 2 into 4, because the depth is 4. Okay, so it will give you 8 centimeter depth, and the third one will be what, 2 into 1. Okay, this is 2 centimeter. After this we have got the rainfall depth. The rainfall depth is 4 centimeter, 8 centimeter, and 2 centimeter. After that we'll plot the table. So in the table, the first column we need to take the time. So in the first column we are taking the time. Okay, with the interval of 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. The intervals are given. Okay, second one, the second ordinate which we are taking is the discharge, which has been given in the question. Okay, so the ordinates for the discharge unit hydrograph is 0, 18. This is all given in your question. Okay, this is 0, 18, 81. So that is the same thing which we are writing. Okay, 0, 18, 81, 189, 168, 141, 96, 54, 21, 0, 18. Now I think it is clear. Okay, see over here, the first column which we are taking is the time, in which we are taking the intervals. Okay, so the first interval is what, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. This was the value which was given in your question, till 18. So first you write till 18 only. Okay, for after that write all the discharge value, that is 0, 18, 81, 189, 168, 141, 96, 54, 21, and 18. It is 0. Okay, okay, so this is the discharge value which was given in the question. Okay, now from where this 22 is coming, that I will tell you later. Okay, so the next thing which you need to write is the runoff from excess of rainfall, because in this question we have been provided with three extra rainfall value. First one was your 4 centimeter, which was from 0 to 2 hours. Second one was for 8 centimeter, which was from 2 to 4 hours, and last one was for 2 centimeter, which was from 4 to 6 hours. So as it is starting from 0 to 2, so initially it will be 0, and the value which will be in this value, you need to multiply what, 18, you need to multiply by 4 centimeter, because this is the depth of rainfall which we have calculated. The depth of first rainfall was coming out to be 4 centimeter, so you need to multiply 18 with 4, so that will give you 72. Then 81 into 4, this will give you 324. 189 into 4, that will give you 746, 756. 168 into 4, this will give you 672. 141 into 4, that will give you 564. 96 into 4, that will give you 384. 54 into 4, 216. 21 into 4, 84, and 0 into 4, that will give you 0. Okay, over here this will be dash dash. Okay, after that, next value is what, 8 centimeter, because the depth of rainfall for second rainfall was 8 centimeter. So that is starting from what, was starting from 0 to 2. So we have taken 0 on the 0 interval, and we have started the rainfall from 2 hours. Okay, now we need to take 0 on what, on your 2, because it is starting, this rainfall is starting from 2 to 4. Okay, we'll take 0 on 2, and we'll start with the 4 with the rainfall. Okay, so this value 81 into multiply with your 8, that will give you 144. 189 into 8, this will give you 648. 168 into 8, 1512. 141 into 8, 1344. 96 into 8, 1128. 54 into 8, 768. 21 into 8, 432. And 0. Okay, let me see, this value is coming. Let me check this one. Okay, in this column, what they are doing is that they are multiplying this value and then they are writing on this column. So 18 into 8, that is 144. This will give you this value. Then this value is what, this one. Then this value will be this one. 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 One thing, 1 minute. This value is this. 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 This value is coming out to be this, and this value is coming out to be this. Okay, so you need to multiply all this value with 8, and you need to write this on the column. You need to leave the 0 time interval. You need to leave the 2 time interval, and in the similar manner you will have to fill up this column also. Okay, and in this 0, this is coming, therefore we have added 20, the interval as 18 to 20. Okay, after that, in this case it is happening from 4 to 6, so we'll take 4 as 0, so over 4 we will write 0, and on the 6 we are considering now 18 into what. Now you need to multiply this 18 with the depth of rainfall. So the depth of rainfall in this case was 2. So this will give you this value. This will give this value. Okay, so in this way you have to fill up your columns. Okay, this value multiplied by 4, this will fill up this column. This multiplied by 8, you will fill up this column, and you will multiply this value with 2, you will get this column. So you need to remember, the main thing is that if this one is starting from 0 to 2, so you need to take 0 on this side, and you will start your rainfall from 2 hours. And in this case the rainfall is starting from 2 to 4, so the 0 point will be at 2, and you will start your rainfall from 4. And in this case the rainfall is starting from 4 to 6 hours, you will take 4 as 0, and you will start your rainfall at 6. Okay, so in this way you have got the runoff value, excess of rainfall value, you have got the base flow value. As I've told you, the base flow value for all the interval is coming out to be 20, because it is given in question. The base flow is need to be considered is 20, so we'll write 20 in all the column, on all the rows. After so the final ordinate which we need to calculate is what, you need to add all this value. So the first one is coming out to be 20. Okay, after adding all this value you get the value as 92. After adding all this value you get the value of 488, and the summation of this will give you 1460. Next is 2366, 2306, 1868, 1286, 278, 296, 62, 20. Okay, so this is how you can solve your unit hydrograph question. Okay, if excess of rainfall is also given. Okay, we'll stop over here. Later we'll discuss in some other class. Okay, thank you.